Jaya Srinivas Govinda, Jaya Srinivas Govinda, Srinivas Govinda, Jaya Srinivas Govinda. Jaya Jaya Prabhupada, 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 Prabhupada. Jai Om Vishnupad Paramhamsa Parivrajakaacharya Ashtottara Shata Shri Srimad His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada Ki Jai. ISKCON Samsthapakarya Savor the whole world Jagat Guru Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai. Jai Om Vishnupad Paramhamsa Parivrajakaacharya Ashtottara Shata Shri Srimad His Divine Grace Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai. Srila Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur Avirbhav Mahotsav Ki Jai. Ananta Koti Vaishnav Vrinde Ki Jai. Grantaraj Srimad Bhagavatam Ki Jai. Nithai Gaur Premanande Hari. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Narayanam Namaskritya Naram Chaiva Narottamam Devim Saraswatim Vyasam Tato Jayamudirayet Nashtaprayesha Bhadresho Nityam Bhagavata Sevaya Bhagavati Uttama Shloke Bhaktir Bhavati Naishtike. Reading from Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 10, Chapter 7, The Killing of the Demon Trinavarta. Text number 3. Atha Anyat Api Krishnasya Athanyadapi Krishnasya Stoka Acharitam Adbhutam Stoka Charitam Adbhutam Manusham Lokam Asadya Manusham Lokam Asadya Tajjatim Anurundhataha Tajjatim Anurundhataha Athanyadapi Krishnasya Stoka Charitam Adbhuta Manusham Lokam Asadya Tajjatim Anurundhataha. Athanyadapi Krishnasya Stoka Charitam Adbhutam Atha also anyat api other pastimes also Krishnasya of child Krishna Stoka acharitam adbhutam. They are also wonderful childhood pastimes. Manusham, as if playing as a human child. Lokam asadya, appearing on this planet Earth in human society. Tat jatim, exactly like a human child. Anurundhataha, was imitating. Translation and purport by His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada. Translation. Please describe other pastimes of Krishna, the Supreme Personality, who appeared on this planet Earth, imitating a human child and performing wonderful activities like killing Putana. Please repeat this translation after me. Please describe other pastimes of Krishna, the Supreme Personality, who appeared on this planet Earth, imitating a human child and performing wonderful activities like killing Putana. Purport by Srila Prabhupada. Maharaj Parikshit requested Shukadev Goswami to narrate other childhood pastimes exhibited by Krishna while playing as a human child. The Supreme Personality of Godhead incarnates at different times in different planets and universes, and according to the nature of those places, He exhibits His unlimited potency. That a child sitting on the lap of his mother was able to kill the gigantic Putana is extremely wonderful for the inhabitants of this planet. But on other planets, the inhabitants are more advanced, and therefore the pastimes the Lord performs there are still more wonderful. Krishna's appearance on this planet like a human being makes us more fortunate than the demigods in the higher planets, and therefore Maharaj Parikshit was very much interested in hearing about him. Thus ends the Bhaktivedanta purport. Om Jnanatimmirandhasya Jnananjanashalakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Nama Om Vishnupadaya Krishna Presthaya Bhutale Srimate Bhaktivedanta Swami Niti Namine Namaste Saraswate Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paschatya Deshatarine Jaya Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shri Vasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare Mukam karoti vachalam pangum langhayate girim Yat kripa tamaham vande Shri Gurum Dinatarinam Yat kripa tamaham vande Paramananda Madhavam Yat kripa tamaham vande Shri Chaitanya Ishwaram Vancha kalpatarubhyascha kripa sindubhya evacha Patitanam pavanebhyo vaishnavebhyo namo namaha. This is a request by Parikshit Maharaj to Shukadev Goswami. He is hearing so attentively that even though he has already asked his questions, And Shukadeva Goswami is going on answering the various questions he has already asked. Still, in between, he's making the narration very interesting by asking further questions. In the second canto, when Shukadeva Goswami begins speaking, so Shukadeva Goswami first answering the two questions Parikshit asked as soon as Shukadeva Goswami arrived in the assembly. So the two questions were, what is the duty of a person who is about to die? And in general, what are the different duties of a human being in this world? So Shukadeva Goswami answered those questions, two questions. He described the only business of a human being, and particularly the only activity for a person who is about to die, is to chant and hear about the glories of the Supreme Personality of Godhead Krishna. He said especially because Ante Narayana Sprutihi, at the end of life, person is about to die, should remember Narayana, Krishna, Vishnu, so that simply by remembering the Supreme Lord at the time of death, one is directly transferred to to Krishna's abode. In the 8th chapter of the Bhagavad Gita, Krishna describes this. Antakale cha mameva smaran muktva kalevaram yaprayati samadbhavam yati na atra samshayaha. That certainly a person who at the end of life in this body, at a time of death, antakale cha mameva smaran, one who remembers me alone and quits his body, muktva kalevaram sayati madbhava, he attains my nature. What is Krishna's nature? Krishna's nature is, he is completely transcendental. He is always situated in his spiritual abode, personal abode, where everything is of the spiritual quality. So you come back to me, Krishna says. Mam upetya. So that is what Shukadeva Goswami describes to Parikshit Maharaj and all the assembled saintly persons, to remember, to chant, to be hearing, to be absorbed in thought of the Supreme Lord Krishna. And in general, whatever may be the duties, all those duties should be aimed at constantly remembering, glorifying about the Supreme Personality of Godhead Krishna, His name, His fame, His pastimes, His activities, His paraphernalia, His abode, His devotees, anything and everything connected with the person Krishna, personality Krishna. You can just understand very easily, compared to the impersonal feature of the Supreme Absolute Truth. There are so many more attractive features of the personality. Even a businessman who's got many, many businesses, typically like in India, this Tatas. Now there's so many different varieties of, business enterprises. So, formally speaking, a businessman will describe to somebody about himself, oh, I have this business, I have that business, I have interest in some other venture, etc. But with his loved ones, he never discusses business. With his loved ones, it will be all the personal dealings. The personal dealings. And these personal dealings have everything to do with the personality. His activities, his relationships, especially his loving relationships, and his qualities, his name. Like typically it always happens that whatever be the actual official name, there will be so many other names at home. In Karnataka, in South Karnataka, South Kannada district, Udupi, they have the system that when a name-giving ceremony is held for a child, newborn child, then they give some 6 names for the child. So I never heard of this. So one gentleman was describing to me his grandchild's naming ceremony he was describing. So I said, what was the name you gave? So he described one name and said, that's just the official name. Then I said, what other name did you give? Then I said, officially, whatever the name, that name alone is given in the name-giving ceremony. I have not heard of any other name being given in the ceremony. He says, no, in the ceremony itself, there are 5 other names given. One name, the first name is of course the name according to the birth star and the horoscope, etc. But the other names are according to, first of all, what the father wants to call the child. See, there they take into account the father's affection for the child. You see? See, similarly, Prabhupada describes in the Bhagavad Gita, when it is described, Panchajanyam Rishikesho Devadattam Dhananjayaha Paundram Dadmau Mahashankam Bhimakarma Vrukodaraha. Prabhupada immediately points out so many different names by which Krishna is known. He's called Rishikesha because he is the controller of everyone's senses. But there are more intimate names. Devaki Nandana, one who gives pleasure to Devaki. Yashoda Nandana, one who gives pleasure to Mother Yashoda. Nanda Nandana. And even though his name is Krishna, out of love they call him Kanha, Kanaya. You see? So, the loving dealings between Krishna and all the devotees in Vrindavan. Vrindavan is special in that regard. Always in Mathura and Dwaraka, his immediate family members, with them loving dealings. But in Vrindavan, loving dealings with his family members, yes. but also with the other covered boyfriends, with the gopis, elderly gopis, the younger gopis, with the cows, with the calves, with the bees, with the peacocks, with the birds, the parrots. When Chaitanya Mahaprabhu visited Vrindavan, it's very important to hear that, what happened when Chaitanya Mahaprabhu visited Vrindavan. Of course, he was visiting as a devotee, so he played the part of a devotee, so he taught us how we should visit the holy dham. But he also exhibited certain activities which are those of the Supreme Lord, Personality of Godhead, Krishna. So before he entered the places of Krishna's pastimes in Vrindavan, Mathura, Gokula, etc. Before that, while he was passing through the forests, then so many animals, the deers, the monkeys, and some cowherd men were grazing the cows. The cows, all of them came near Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and began to caress him. The cows were licking his body. The peacocks were dancing in front of him. The parrots were sitting on his shoulder. And the Chaitanya Charitamrita, Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami, wonderful description he gives, that one male parrot sat on his left shoulder and a female parrot sat on his right shoulder. So the male parrot was named Shuka and the female parrot was named Sharika. So Shuka began to speak to Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. He quoted a verse glorifying Krishna, the wonderful qualities of Krishna. So Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was very impressed, very happy to hear that. Oh, so nice. Then Sharika began to speak. She recited a verse glorifying Radharani. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was even more pleased. Then he went further, and then so many birds and animals and bees humming, and all of them were remembering Krishna 5,000 years back, how they were reciprocating with Krishna, because they are eternal residents of the Dham. They are eternal devotees. So they are eternal residents of the Dham. So, of course, Krishna resides in the Dham always, but his manifest presence, how it was, so they relived, because Krishna has come as Chaitanya. So Chaitanya Mahaprabhu also reciprocated the same way, because he is Krishna. So this loving dealings between Krishna and all the Brajavasis, this is very special. So those dealings are described in the Srimad Bhagavatam in the first portion of the 10th canto, the first 39 chapters. The dealings of Krishna with the Brajavasis. And the speciality is that even though Krishna is Supreme Lord, nobody cares for his position as the Supreme Lord. That's not interesting to them. He is full of so many powers, he has got so many opulences, and he's got so much of uh, security, he's got so much of strength. They are not bothered with all that. They're just concerned with his love. So out of their love for him, they'll do so many things. Mother Yashoda, as the mother, she'll always be concerned, like mothers are usually concerned about the well-being of her small child. So sometimes when Krishna is playing and he doesn't come home, he's playing near his home, he doesn't go to the forest for cow herding. Someday he takes off. So he'll be at home, so he'll gather his friends. Near his home he'll be playing, just outside the home. Then it is time for lunch, he should come back. Yashoda would have told him, come back by lunchtime. So Krishna is playing, he doesn't come back. And then Mother Yashoda will go to call him. And then Krishna will say, just 5 more minutes, please wait. So Mother Yashoda will be waiting. Then Krishna continues to play. And then Yashoda will say, how long will you make your father wait? Nanda Maharaj is waiting for you to come home. He has not started taking his lunch. Don't delay his lunch. Immediately Krishna will leave everything and come. Then all the other cowherd boyfriends will start accusing Krishna. As long as it was our turn to assist you in your game, you were nicely taking our assistance. Now it's your turn to assist us, you're going away. So they would become unhappy, but Krishna would not turn back. He would just go away with Mother Yashoda. He doesn't want his father to wait for him. The father also, you see, because every day he goes for cow herding, one day he doesn't go, that day father wants to eat with his beloved son. These are the loving dealings. And sometimes when the play is interrupted, some demon comes sent by Kamsa. Krishna doesn't want the play to be disturbed. So he will casually just kill the demon and they continue playing. So the cowherd boys, they really don't know. Don't know in the sense, Yogamaya covers their knowledge of Krishna as the Supreme Personality of Godhead. In the spiritual world, Yogamaya is working. The material world, Mahamaya is working. Durga Devi is working. The 3 modes are working. So, both in the spiritual world and the material world, Maya makes us forget Krishna. But here the forgetfulness is because of our ignorance. Maya has got 2 potencies. Avarnatmika Shakti and Prakshepatmika Shakti in this material world. Avarnatmika Shakti, she covers our knowledge about ourselves, about Krishna, about our spiritual identity, etc. And then we identify with this body and mind and material circumstances, etc. Avarnatmika Shakti. And Prakshepatmika Shakti is, if we are too much disturbed or troubled by the material entanglement, we try to get out of this material entanglement, Maya will not allow us to get out. She will hold us back. She'll put so many obstacles. So, Prakshepatmika Shakti. She keeps bound up in this material world. Why does she do this? Because of our desires. Simply because of our material desires. There is no possibility that somebody can have material desires and they go back to Godhead, because that's not the place for fulfilling material desires. For fulfilling material desires, Krishna specially created this material world. So Krishna has engaged Durga Devi, Mahamaya, external energy, for providing all the facilities for our material enjoyment. But the defect is, material enjoyment is a package deal. It doesn't come without material distress. This is why this world called Dvandva Jagat, the world of duality. What is duality? Happiness is never only happiness. It's always happiness and distress. Pleasure and pain. Day and night. Summer and winter. Whole material existence is like this. Always pairs of opposites. We have friends and we have enemies. We love somebody, we hate somebody. And this also Krishna describes in the Bhagavad Gita. Ichha dvesha samuthena dvandva mohena bharata sarva bhutani sammoham sarge yanti parantapa. Birth in this material world means everyone is born with some likes and dislikes. Ichha dvesha. Is there anybody who's born who says, I don't have anything dislike, I have only likes? Nobody's there. Nobody's there. Everybody has some likes and some dislikes. So because of this, it creates dvandva, duality. We have experience in our own life, day-to-day life. We always want to be with people we like. And if there will be some people we dislike, we don't want to be with them. Or we want to eat what we like to eat. And if, like children, generally I heard mothers complain that they don't like to eat vegetables. So sometimes the mothers will compel or force the child to eat vegetables. Child doesn't like it. Oh, I don't want it. I can't eat that. So like that, always there are likes and dislikes, pairs of opposite, dvandva. And moha. Moha is illusion. It also puts us in illusion. Moment you have likes and dislikes, there is illusion. Why? Because there is nothing to like here, nothing to dislike here. We are not the body. We don't belong to this material world. There is nothing here which is actually going to really satisfy us or give us real happiness. But under illusion, we identify ourselves with our body and mind. And this mind being conditioned one way, it will naturally be attracted to something and it will dislike something else. It's just a conditioning, that's all. It's the conditioning means some habits we have formed, some mentality we have developed in association with the gunas. Krishna described this also in the Bhagavad Gita. Karanam gunasangosya sadasad yoni janmasu. We take birth in different species based on our likes and dislikes. Just like somebody likes to eat so much rubbish, even though so many nice things are available. Why do they eat this horrible fish and eggs and meat and flesh and horrible things? The smell itself we cannot stand. And they like the thing, they like the aroma, the obnoxious smell. So, such people who like to eat all kinds of rubbish, nature, Mother Nature, Durga Devi says, why you struggle to eat all that in the human form of life? You take the body of a hog, it can eat all rubbish, and it likes to eat. It goes looking for rubbish. Goes looking for rubbish. So, like that, Ichha Dvesha Samuthena Dvandva Mohena Bharata. Illusion is necessary. That covering of our real identity is necessary. Then only we can enjoy materially. That is not possible. Material enjoyment is not possible. Then you may ask, why material enjoyment? What is so peculiar about material enjoyment or special about material enjoyment? Because we want to enjoy independently. Independently. Spiritual world, everyone is enjoying with Krishna. Nobody is enjoying independently in the spiritual world. Krishna also does not enjoy independently. Krishna always enjoys with his devotees. Neither Krishna enjoys independently, nor the devotees are interested in independent enjoyment. They can't bear separation from Krishna for even one moment. That was exhibited by all the Brajavasis when Krishna left Vrindavan and went to Mathura. Everybody was crying and crying and crying and crying and crying in separation from Krishna. Whole of Vrindavan. So somebody may say, even this material world we see, if a mother is separated from a child, then she will feel so much, dukkha. She'll feel so much distress. She will cry, cry, cry. But how long will she cry? Sometime, few days. Afterwards, life becomes normal. Always the case. Whereas these Vrindavan, Brajavasis, they never became normal. After Krishna left, they were immersed in an ocean of sorrow. Everyone. So, the point is that Krishna's opulence in Vaikuntha as Narayana and all the other 400 forms is full of grandeur, which is his Aishwarya feature. His feature of his greatness, his richness, his supreme position, and out of awe and reverence, out of respect, out of high regard, everyone bows down to him, everyone serves him, everyone is always respecting him. And he also accepts the devotees' service, the respect, the honor, everything he accepts. In that also there is a sense of love. There is a sense of love. But that love is always regulated by so many conditions. Love is regulated by so many conditions. And there are so many restrictions also. Like even in this material world we see, supposing there is a servant. Formerly they used to have these servants staying in the house of the master and sleeping there, eating there, doing everything. He'll be doing all kinds of work. He'll be like the personal assistant for the master. So over a period of time, he does develop some kind of affection, attachment, isn't it? And the master also considers this person has been serving me, this servant, so nicely. So he also develops some kind of affection. But because the master is always conscious, I am the owner, the controller, the provider, the maintainer. And the servant also is always conscious, after all, who am I? I am the servant. So he cannot take liberty with the master. Neither the master will ever take liberty with the servant. The master has his son, let us say, and he has got his one servant, male servant. He'll never treat the servant like the son, he'll never treat the son like the servant. That will always remain, the distinction will always remain. No matter how nicely the servant serves the master, no matter how intimately he serves, there's always a restriction. Because if by chance he forgets his position as servant, the master will become very angry. Doesn't it happen? Sometimes it happens, isn't it? Whereas in Vrindavan, that's the atmosphere in Vaikuntha. That everyone is conscious Narayana is the Supreme Lord. And they have to be conscious because Narayana Supreme Lord means he's not some few times greater than the other devotees. No, he is billions and billions and trillions of times more opulent and more powerful and more strong and more beautiful than everybody else. So there is no comparison at all. So therefore, in the Vaikuntha atmosphere, there is always this awe and reverence for the Lord. All the time, every moment. So their dealings are always steeped in respect, reverence, reverential devotion. That is their devotion. Of course, the devotees, even in Vaikuntha, they are very grateful to the Lord. The Lord is very kind to them. He provides for them abundantly. And they are always engaged in His service without the need for working for getting something, because the Lord provides everything. Just like even in our ordinary material world, day-to-day life, if some servant is staying in the house of the master and always attending to the master, all his needs are taken care of. Will he have a separate salary? No. Everything is taken care of. Something like that you can relate or connect. That in Vaikuntha, the Lord provides. Even in the material world, the Lord provides, but indirectly He provides through Maya, Mahamaya. But in the spiritual world, directly He provides everything. He arranges by His internal potency. He arranges everything. Lakshmi, the goddess of fortune, is His personal consort. So she arranges everything. Just like when Sudama went to meet Krishna in Dwaraka, he took some, the chipped rice, some gift for Krishna. Poor, he was very poor Brahmana. So what could he take? His wife begged some chipped rice, and he took the dry chipped rice, some few handfuls, tied in a stone chadar. He went. And he met Krishna. Krishna was very happy to receive him. And Krishna said, "You brought some gift for me?" Krishna knows what he has brought. "But still, you brought some gift for me?" Sudama was very hesitant to offer that gift, because Krishna is staying in such a wonderful palace, full of so many opulences, so being so nicely served by so many millions of servants. And he is going here and offering some dry chipped rice. So he's very, very shy. Krishna snatched from him and he ate that, one handful. Because that time Krishna tells Sudama, what does he tell? The same verse Krishna tells Arjuna. Patram pushpam phalam toyam yo me bhaktya prayachati tadaham bhakti upahrutam ashnami. He says, I don't care for what you bring. I am only interested in the devotion and love with which you offer me, whatever you offer. So Krishna took it with so much of love that my dear friend has brought for me some gift. He is so poor, but still he has brought one gift. And he has brought it only out of love for me, nothing else. So Krishna snatched and took one handful and said, so nice. But when he wanted to take a second handful, if something is nice, you will want to take more, no? Immediately Rukmini stopped him. My dear Lord, this is enough. Why? Why did Rukmini stop him? It's very interesting. Rukmini was thinking that for the one handful of that chipped rice Krishna has eaten, in reciprocation for Krishna having accepted that, Rukmini Devi is Sakshat Lakshmi. She has to give so much opulences to this Sudama. She is thinking, everything that I can give, I have to give. I have already given. But now, if he takes a second handful, what will I give him? Probably I myself have to go to his house and become his maidservant. I don't want to leave Krishna. So, my dear Lord, it's enough. So, therefore, she stopped him. And the description you have read in Krishna book, that when Sudama goes, my God, what is this? Such an opulent palace. Krishna, when Sudama went to meet him, Krishna knew that Sudama is very, very poor. But he also thought, he is my devotee. My devotees don't demand anything from me. That's the characteristic of Krishna's devotees. My devotees don't demand anything from me. And Krishna also, he doesn't expect anything from his devotees other than their love. And devotees also want Krishna's loving reciprocation. That's all they want. They don't want anything else from Krishna. And that Krishna freely exchanges with his devotees. Love. Devotees also freely give their love to Krishna. Everything they do out of love for Krishna. But when it comes to Lakshmi giving opulences, wealth, and Lakshmi is very calculative, how much she gives home. But when Krishna accepted that one handful of that chipped rice, Lakshmi had to actually consider that I have to give so much opulences. Everything that I can give, I have to give. Over, done. Krishna is taken, accepted. It has to be given. But second handful, what will I give? I have nothing in my possession. She is the goddess of fortune. And she feels that she has nothing in her possession to give. So, we can imagine that if we give Krishna, whatever we give, patram pushpam phalam toyam, anything, any little thing you give to Krishna, but it is given with love and devotion, then Krishna becomes purchased by the devotee. Krishna becomes purchased by the devotee. Therefore, you hear, how long can I go on? Sir, time up. Last point. Therefore, in the Chaitanya Charitamrita, it is described when Advaita Acharya wanted to call upon Krishna to personally come to deliver the fallen conditioned souls. He saw the fallen condition of the society, people in general, that they have no hope of deliverance except if Krishna personally comes and delivers them. So he began to petition Krishna, please come. But what is the best way to guarantee that Krishna will come? So he thought of one verse from the Gautamiya Tantra. In the Gautamiya Tantra it is said, if you want to please Krishna the most, then you worship him in his feature of appearance as Saligram Shila. You have Saligram here? No, you don't have. So in our temples in India, the big temples at least, we have Saligram Shila. Saligram Shila is a self-manifest deity of Krishna. It's a piece of stone, but it has got certain markings by which we identify this is the deity of Krishna or of Sudarshana, of Vasudeva, Narasimha and Vamana and Balaram and Matsya, Kurma, Varaha, different forms of Krishna, different markings are there on the stone. And these Saligram Shila is available only in one place. In Nepal, there's a river flowing called Gandaki in a certain place in Nepal. There, these on the inside that river bed, it is available. This Saligram Shila. So the Saligram Shila, if somebody worships with devotion, then the Supreme Lord becomes so pleased with that devotee worshipping with devotion that he becomes purchased by the devotee. The verse that Advaita Acharya remembered is Tulasi Dalamatrena Jalasya Chulakena Va. Tulasi Dalamatrena means just one leaf of Tulsi. One leaf of Tulsi. Jalasya Chulakena Va, or just one palmful of water. If somebody offers with devotion, Vikrinete swamatmanam bhaktebhyo bhaktavatsalaha. If a devotee of the Supreme Lord offers to the Lord in his form as Saligram Shila, either one tulsi leaf or a palmful of water with devotion, then the Lord says, out of affection for his devotees, he accepts that and he feels that I have nothing in my possession. I am the Lord of all wealth, all opulences, everything. Everything is owned by Krishna. Isha vasyam idam sarvam. Sarvaloka Maheshwaram, Aishwaryasya Samagrasya. But still, I don't have anything in my possession which can equal that one tulsi leaf or one palmful of water offered by my devotee with devotion. I don't have anything in my possession. So what does he do? Vikrinete swamatmanam. He sells himself to his devotee. I have nothing in my possession, so I myself become your property. I become your property. And this was actually stated by Lord Vishnu when Ambarish Maharaj was offended. He didn't take offense, but this Durvasa Muni, he offended Ambarish Maharaj. The Supreme Lord could not tolerate. He sent a Sudarshan Chakra, finish off this Ambarish Maharaj, this Durvasa Muni. So Durvasa Muni tried escaping the attack of the Sudarshan Chakra, and he finally went to Vishnu because nobody else could save him, protect him. He went to Vishnu. Vishnu said, even I cannot protect you or save you. Why? Because I have no freedom. I am the property of my pure devotees. I sold myself to my pure devotees. There's a verse like that in the 9th canto of the Bhagavatam. So, the relationship of love, that's what I wanted to point out. In such relationships, whatever Krishna does, whatever the Supreme Lord does, it is very, very wonderful, attractive, extraordinary activities. And particularly among all the incarnations, in every incarnation, whatever the Lord does is extraordinary, is wonderful. But in his childhood pastimes, Krishna, whatever he did, are especially more attractive than all other activities of the Supreme Lord in his various incarnations. So here, Parikshit Maharaj is requesting, describe other pastimes of Krishna who appeared on this planet Earth imitating a human child. He is imitating a human child and performing wonderful activities like killing Putana. A small child sucked out the life air of the demoness. Wonderful activities. And nobody can make out. Who will imagine that he will suck out the life air? A small child. Nobody will ever imagine. So they don't know how Putana died. Nobody knows in Vrindavan. So the scriptures describe the saintly persons. They describe Krishna killed Putana. They describe. Otherwise, the Brajavasis don't know. So Brajavasis keep hearing, your son, he is the Lord, Supreme Lord. Oh, really? And then, as Supreme Lord, what is he doing? He killed Putana. Oh, really? He killed Putana. Mother Yashoda will think, oh, very nice, very nice. Krishna killed Putana. She will not think, oh, he's Supreme Lord. She never looks upon him as Supreme Lord. Even if he is Supreme Lord, he is my beloved child. That's all. So those wonderful pastimes, Parikshit Maharaj requesting Shukadeva Goswami, please describe. Grantharaj Srimad Bhagavatam ki jai, Srila Prabhupada ki